Good afternoon, welcome to another video. I've been tagged into a video which is 15 random things about me. Got all the questions written down here and I'm going to get started. I've got my glasses on because I can't see my questions if I don't have my glasses on. So question one, I was tagged by Emma, SW at Home channel. So if you haven't already seen her channel, go and check it out. I'm sure you would have done though. And it's great. She does what I eat in a days on Slimming World. So I'll start my questions now. The first question is, when was the last time you cried? Well, I never. Sorry if you can hear a noise. Luna's decided to eat her food really loudly next to me. I apologise for that. I cry a lot just lately. I think it's a hormone thing. Certainly about 2 weeks ago, I sat down and everything I watched made me cry. There was a YouTuber that I really liked that was an American YouTuber who sadly died, and I sobbed at that. And his wife made a video and that made me cry. Just everything really. Anything and everything made me cry. I'm trying to think of like just some of the like sad TikToks of someone making a cushion of his wife, this old bloke. I cried at that, literally. I mean, I'm quite soft with things like, you know, I can cry at an advert, you know, I'm that sort of person. But just recently I've been worse, and I definitely think it must be hormones. But I'd say from a proper, like, emotional cry, it probably would have been at one of my grandparents' funerals or my Auntie Mary in London when she died. But yeah, I'm a bit of a tearful person. You know, I think I'm quite an empath, so I tend to feel a lot of people's pain, I think. Next question. What is the first thing I notice about people? I think probably their eyes. I think the eyes tell a lot about people. You can tell whether someone's lying to you or being truthful by looking at their eyes. And I think it's probably one of the more attractive features of the body. So yeah, I'd go for probably the eyes, and then it would be personality. So it wouldn't be something visual. It would be, I think I'm quite a good judge of character. So yeah, it'd probably be those two things. Number 3, where's the furthest I've been away from home? And that would be Canada. Eddie and I went to Canada for our honeymoon, so that was 26 years ago this year. In fact, in about 2 weeks. So that's the furthest I've ever been. I've been to various places around the world, but Canada's definitely the furthest. It's about a 6 or 7 hour flight. Next question. What did you want to be when you grew up? I desperately wanted to be a mechanic, and I did my work experience in a garage. Sorry, Luna's just jumped up to join me. I wanted to be a mechanic or an engineer, and back when I was that age, I was told categorically by our careers officer that it wasn't an option, that most companies wouldn't even have ladies' toilets, so it wasn't an option. University wasn't really an option for my family because I come from quite a big Irish family, so money was tight, so university wasn't an option for me. And I got told that if I went into engineering, I'd need to have a first class degree in order to make it, that basically there was no point otherwise. And it's just a bit ironic that I've been around universities for my son's going in September, and he's going to be doing engineering, and I've been round and up to the courses and they're crying out for girls now. I think I was just born at the wrong time. But yeah, even anything mechanical. I dismantled my first bike when I was 2. I got a bike for Christmas, and by the afternoon I dismantled it all. So that's always been my interest. But I didn't go into that, and I got a job training as an accountant back when I left school, and I've been in accounts ever since, and it is something I regret. So certainly with my kids, I'm encouraging them to follow their dreams. So Chloe's doing an illustration degree. Although it's hard to make it as an artist, I wanted her to do something she was passionate about. And the same with Tom. Tom's very good at science and maths like I was, so he's going down the engineering route. Don't know about Ewan yet. Jury's still out on that one. He hasn't quite made his mind up what he wants to do. So next question. Favourite and worst subjects at school. Well, I've kind of hinted at that. So my favourite subjects were maths and science. My worst subjects were PE, mainly because we used to do running on a track along the outside of the football pitches, and I've always been quite well endowed, and I used to get teased something chronic, so I didn't used to want to do it. So I used to always forget my kit. And we used to do cross country, and these were the days where you wore little gym knickers and you were expected to do cross country on the main roads, and you'd get blokes like whistling at you and stuff like that, which obviously wouldn't happen nowadays. There'd be trouble, but back then it was okay to do it. Hated PE, absolutely detested it. I didn't like the showers with no curtains and being forced to kind of parade in front of the other girls, and I didn't like the PE teachers. Didn't like anything about it. If we didn't get ready and dressed in time before the bell went, you got kicked out in whatever you were dressed in, whether that was just your bra and pants or vest and pants. So yeah, the whole thing, it was just, I still have horrible flashbacks to it. And then another subject I didn't particularly enjoy was art, which is ironic considering how talented as an artist Chloe is. But we had some horrible teachers that used to just come and criticise your work, and I hated every minute of it. Didn't take it as GCSE. And then my other weak subjects were English. But yeah, everything else, maths, science, DT, I absolutely loved, and I did enjoy school in the main. Name choices for my kids. So I've got Chloe, who is my eldest. She'll be 21 this year, but she was never supposed to be Chloe. I think we had Francesca, Caitlin. What else do we have? We had a whole list of names and Chloe wasn't even on it. And it's really weird because I gave birth to her and we just both said she looks like a Chloe. And her second name is Hannah. And that's because Eddie's grandma that he was really close to, his Polish grandma, was called Anna. And I didn't really want Anna, so we had Hannah as a sort of like a bit of a tribute towards her without it being directly the same sort of name. Tom is Thomas Benjamin. And originally we wanted Benjamin as a first name, but my surname's Buddha. And we realised that Benny Buddha would be, and Bobby Buddha, all those names would make him sound like some sort of like backstreet comedian. So we didn't go for any of them. So we settled on Thomas, and it's my dad with his Irish accent calls him Thomas, but it's Thomas Benjamin Buddha. And then my youngest is Ewan, spelt Ewan, and we originally wanted Owen, Eoin, with the Gaelic spelling, but we realised quite quickly that there's no way that Eddie's family would be able to handle that name. They couldn't spell Chloe right. She was Cole for the first year of her life, Chole instead of Chloe. I even had to think for a minute. So we went down with Ewan because we thought that they'd be able to spell that. So he's Ewan George. So yeah, that's their names. We did have other names, but they just seemed to come to us there and then. And yeah, that's those. Next question. Do you have any bad habits? I think Emma said on hers that she swears a lot, and I think that's probably my downfall too. I do swear, so that's my bad habit and trait. And I don't know if you class... I'm trying to think what else you class as a bad habit. I don't particularly bite my nails. I don't smoke. I don't drink a huge amount these days. Bad habits. I don't know. I need to have a think about that one. I'd say probably just swearing. And probably my husband has said things like walking around in bare feet, because I walk around in bare feet all the time. I very rarely put shoes on when I'm at home. I hate wearing shoes or anything on my feet, so maybe walking around in bare feet, maybe a push. Do you have any tattoos? No, none. I've always not really liked tattoos. I have seen some recently that have kind of grown on me. There's a YouTuber called Cinnamon Toast Ken, which is an American YouTuber, and he's got all like Zelda ones on his arms, which are really, really colourful and they're really, really pretty. But no, I've not got any. I think if I was going to have anything, I'd go for something sort of like quite discreet and out the way, but I can't see me ever doing it. Do you have any middle names? Well, yeah, my first name's Julie. My middle names are Margaret, Mary, which are typical Irish names. So Margaret was after my grandma. Mary's actually a confirmation name. But yeah, Margaret Mary. Mary is quite a popular family name. So yeah, Julie, Margaret, Mary. Favourite perfume? I struggle with perfumes because I get quite bad allergies. As you'll notice from watching my videos, I get really bad hay fever and stuff. So I don't have that many because I find quite a few do affect me at certain times of the year. I tend to wear Clinique. Happy is my go-to everyday sort of one that I'd wear to work that's not too heavy. I have got a bottle of Valentino, which is one that I got for Christmas. Was it last year? Or I might have bought it on my birthday money. But not many people buy me perfumes. I tend to just have more sort of like body sprays and stuff. I do like them, but I'm quite choosy about them because I don't want them to make me sneeze. Do you have a favourite film? My favourite film of all time has always been Demolition Man. I don't know what it is about it, but I absolutely love it. And I haven't watched it for quite some time, but I used to watch it over and over again. There's not many things I can watch more than once, but Demolition Man I absolutely love. I also like things like the Marvel movies. I like things with action in, like James Bond, that kind of thing. Not particularly a rom-com person. I don't mind the odd one, Love Actually and stuff like that, but I'm not a huge rom-com fan. Rather have something with a bit more action and adventure in than that. The next question is, what is my height? I'm 5'3". that's all I can say on the matter. Always been short, and just I've always thought that if I was taller, I wouldn't have a weight problem. But I'm 5'3". What is my biggest downfall? I'd say one of my biggest downfalls is having no confidence. I've never, ever, ever had any confidence, no matter what. And I watch lots of plus size vloggers. There's Sierra Schultz, I think that's how you pronounce the name in America, who will do try-ons and things. Oh, hello. I don't know. Have you eaten your dinner? Yeah, you saying thank you? Yeah. Luna's just had some roast lamb like we've all had for dinner. Is that nice? You want to be in the video? Oh, no, you don't want to be in the video. There you go. You sit nicely for the camera. Look, who's that? Luna. Who's this? Luna's getting really spooked by any little sounds today because it's so windy outside and she just keeps running and hiding. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, biggest downfall. So Sierra Schultz does all these try-ons and clothing hauls and stuff, and she's plus size, and I would love to be like that, but I really don't feel that I'm confident. And like what Emma said on hers, I've never ever been able to take a compliment. So when anyone said to me, oh, you look lovely, you look really, really nice, I just get really embarrassed and just want to shrivel up. And people keep coaching me at work saying, you know, say thank you, like, you know, rather than me sort of going, but I don't have any confidence. Which is probably why I want to do something like YouTube, because basically I can be myself and not have to see anyone watching me and not having to know what anyone's thinking about what I've put on. Another big downfall for me is my eating, that I love food, and I really do truly love food. And it's not just that I eat, you know, the wrong thing. I can eat really healthy, but I do love food. I love the taste of food. I love cooking it. I love baking. So yeah, that is a big downfall for me, and it is something that I struggle with. And another big downfall for me is that I am stubborn, and it runs in the family. You know, my sons and daughters are stubborn now too, but it is a family trait. You know, it's not always a good thing. I'm quite stubborn. What's the worst pain you ever felt? I would say it's probably going to be childbirth. I don't think anything can match that. I went through it 3 times. Each time went down in time. So I went from 36 hours with Chloe to 24 with Tom to 12 hours with Ewan. But I wouldn't say any of them were any less painful. Yeah, I'd definitely say that was the worst pain. In recent years, the worst pain I've had was probably having my wisdom tooth taken out. That wasn't very nice. So yeah. And the final question is, what is the most embarrassing moment that I've ever had? I've had loads over the years. I think, I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head. There are lots and lots of embarrassing moments. I can remember going up to a girl at work who we were collecting for her wedding, I think it was, and telling her that I was doing a collection, actually to her face, without realising that I was mentioning it to the person who we were collecting for. That was one embarrassing moment. Another one was actually at school. Ewan had they had one of these things where the kids were teaching us how to do maths the way they do it nowadays, where they do all these different methods that we didn't do when we were younger. And there was a group of lads on one table that had obviously been playing with Ewan on the Xbox, and at that particular time Ewan was using my Xbox profile because I wouldn't let him have his own. My Xbox profile is called Jugs 1972. Jugs for obvious reasons, because like I said earlier, I've always been quite well endowed, and 1972 because that's the year I was born. And these lads spoke to me, bearing in mind these were primary school, who also said, "Oh, hi Julie, Mrs. Buddha, or Jugs 1972 as I like to call you." Wasn't my best shining moment to have that in a school hall from some probably 10-year-old lads, but anyway. And I'd say the other one is the typical one that most people have, which is like calling your school teacher mum, something like that. But I do have... Oh, there was another major one that I forgot about. I actually went into town once with odd trainers on. And I was driving in and I looked down and realised I'd put 2 different trainers on. And at this point, I was past the point of no return. I'd gone too far into Nottingham from where we live in Derbyshire. So I couldn't turn around and go back. So I got into town and I just said to Chloe, I'm just going to have to style it out. And she was like, are you going to go and buy some more? And by the time I'd got to sort of Primark to have a look, I thought, well, I've walked around half the way now like it. I might as well carry on. And ironically, just not long after that, it became a bit of a trend. I think there was some of the American rappers and stuff started wearing odd trainers. And I was like, trendsetter that I am. But yeah, it wasn't. It was a bit embarrassing. So I think that was the last question. Let me just double check I've got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. So yeah, that was the last question. So that's all of them. The difficulty I've got now is that I'm really, really new to YouTube. I've only been doing it for a couple of months. So I don't really have anyone that I can tag in very easily, because I don't, apart from Emma in Northern Ireland, there's lots of people I watch, but I don't necessarily have a sort of friendship that I feel like I could tag people in. But what I'll do is, if I can think of anybody, I will let them know on social media and tag them that way, and I will edit the video and tag them in at the end. But off the top of my head, there's quite a lot of people. And obviously, if you do Slim World, you'll know there's loads of Slim World people that you follow and that you enjoy and that I even comment on. But they don't necessarily know that I do YouTube, and we aren't exactly like friends as such. So it's difficult for me to tag anyone in. So yeah, it's been really good. A good experience. I've enjoyed watching Emma's, and I've actually gone through and watched some of the people that Emma tagged in her videos. So it's so if you haven't already looked at Emma's, if you go and check that one out, and also check out the people that she's linked below, it's really good for the community. And I do think that it's a lovely little community we've got here on YouTube. So yeah, well, thank you for watching. I'll be back probably tomorrow with what I eat in a day, or it might even be later on today. And I shall see you soon. Bye.